Ooh, hi. Oh, it is good to be back. I missed exactly 24 hours, and honestly, I missed you guys. It's just not the same without you. I feel home when you bat my fragile ego. Okay, let's start the episode. If you don't know what this series is about, I'll make it very simple for you. From December 1st to 25th, I will complete every challenge in the existence of old school RuneScape, and in return, you, the viewer, can donate to our total prize pot, which currently stands over 850 million GP before our first week has even ended. I can't wait to hit 1 billion in few days. It's gonna be so good. What do we do with this money, you ask? Well, we're gonna give it all away on the 26th of December and hopefully have the biggest drop party in old school RuneScape history. Now, will I achieve that goal? Only time will tell, but today's episode definitely helps a lot to reach that, as we have an interesting challenge from Karel, one of our community members, and it goes like this. Kill as many unique bosses as you can within 1 hour without equipping anything in the weapon slot at any point. Each unique boss KC gives you 10 million GP. Only bosses in the bossing high scores count. Iron Man rules except for trading others. You can trade anyone before and during the challenge for gear and supplies, and challenge timer starts 10 minutes after the posting of this message and lasts for 1 hour. By the way, I'm doing voiceover today as the audio for my clips didn't turn out that great, and I just want to have a chat with you guys while we go over this challenge. So it was simple. I had to punch as many bosses as possible in the span of 1 hour, and I had 10 minutes to prepare. Carter showed me his gear and I immediately told him to give me full Torva. I don't care, I do not care. We're going all in with this punching, hold nothing back. So he did, and I started to plan this out right away. I was thinking of mid-level bosses I can actually do, and when you're under pressure, it's very hard to perform with only the right moves. But I think today I gave my best, and that's all that matters. So the boss list I immediately came up with that I can realistically punch down was this: Chaos Fanatic, Crazy Archaeologist, Sarachnis, Giant Mole, and Chaos Elemental. These were the 5 that came to my mind right away. I was also thinking King Black Dragon, but I didn't go for it as I thought it could just take too long. Other bosses I was thinking was Barros Brothers, but I genuinely don't know how efficient it would have been to punch all the 6 brothers, even though technically in hindsight I could have just punched one, opened the chest, and I would have gotten a KC, which technically counts, right? But I didn't think of that at the time. So I start with Chaos Fanatic and immediately realize how long this is gonna take. I did not look up Chaos Fanatic stats, and when I went in, I just kinda knew it was really easy boss, but turns out it has 260 melee defensive stats. Had I known that, I would have stayed away from that boss. I think overall this was the longest KC out of all that I did. Oh, and did I mention I was actually risking Karel's gear as well? Don't tell him. Yeah, you could only protect 4 items in the wilderness, but I was literally in level 40 wilderness with full max gear, Dorva, everything, just punching away. That was kind of hilarious to me. And after 6 minutes of punching, I get it down to 0 HP, and that is 10 million GP to you guys. Okay, next boss I had was Crazy Archaeologist. Surprisingly, the boss had almost 0 melee defensive stats, which I didn't know as I've seen pretty much every new Iron Man hunt this boss with the Iban staff, so it was a surprise to me how easy it was to punch this boss. I took it down fast and quickly banked and moved to the next boss. Well, quickly banking is far-fetched in this case because I forgot my teleport and wasted over 5 minutes on just banking. I don't want to talk about it, let's just move on. So I get to Chaos Elemental, which was the 3rd boss, and I realized one big factor. Punching is crush attack style, and so far I've been wearing full Dorva. Now, full Dorva does have the best strength bonus, but you know which armor has the best crush bonus? Full Inquisitor. So I actually wore the wrong armor for the first 3 bosses, and as soon as Chaos Elemental went down, I DM'd Karel again saying, Karel, full Inquisitor right now, let's swap it out, I'll give you the Dorva back, because I'm soon going to Sarachnis, and I knew that boss is weak to crush. So we swapped the armor out. Currently I have 30 million GP achieved and almost half of my hour completed already. Then a plot twist happens. But before I tell you about that, please do me a big solid and like this video and subscribe, as it helps with the algorithm and that will mean the world to me. Okay, let's continue. I go to Giant Mall before Sarachnis, and I just cannot find a free world. I thought you can do instant Giant Mall, but apparently that's, I guess, only in RuneScape 3, and it's not the case here, or at least I don't know it is. I even asked other people, can I please punch 1KC? It's so dumb, and nobody answered back, so I just had to make a decision. Do I hop potentially 30, 40, maybe even 50 words to find one free giant mole, or do I just abandon this easy boss? I decided to hop, and it took me like 20 words to find an empty room, and I punched it as hard as I could. That was 4 out of 5 rooms completed. 40 million GP acquired for the drop party by now, and I had a little bit over 20 minutes to go. So I went to Sarachnis next. This was super easy, but I got a message from one of my mods while doing Sarachnis saying, I will double every boss you kill in terms of GP that we're gonna give away, and that got my PP and me very, very excited. By the time I punched down Sarachnis, we suddenly made 100 million GP for the drop party in the span of 40 minutes, which was insane, and I had to turn my thinking cap on. I had 20 minutes left, and a light bulb went off my head. Carter said every boss in the boss high scores is okay, so I was like, wait, I can do skilling bosses! I can do skilling! How the hell did I miss that? And I immediately rushed to Salcano, and the other two I was thinking about was Winterdot and Temporos. I was also thinking about Guardians of the Rift, but then I realized that minigame takes twice as long as the others, and I only have 20 minutes left. So I rushed to Salcano, and 1 minute before that I DM'd my friend Witchy to just have an axe, harpoon, and pickaxe ready for me to trade at the entrance of Salcano. I'm just gonna do all 3 skilling bosses in full Inquisitor armor. We have no time for anything else right now. She came in clutch, gave me a lot of supplies that helped me with the run, so I didn't have to bank myself, and I think thanks to her we secured like an extra 20 million GP, because if I had to do all of that myself, I probably would have missed the last boss. So I do Salcano in my full Inquisitor armor. Next up was Winterdot. Immediately teleport there. Nothing interesting happened besides me taking buttload of damage, because turns out full Inquisitor isn't warm clothing, so you take full damage. I think actually at one point I took like 40 damage with one hit. Yeah, that was painful. I was just chugging brews non-stop, hoping to get 500 points. And then I also learned that you don't even need 500 points to get a KC in Winterdot. You actually need only 350 points. The 500 is for the Great, which I didn't know. You learn something new every day. And the last boss was Temporos, and I finished that with like 3 minutes to spare. And that concluded of me earning 160 million GP in the span of 1 hour for the Christmas drop party event. I was thinking of trying to do KBD with the 3 minutes I had left, but then soon realized it's just not possible. And I concluded the challenge right there. Looking back at it, one thing I should have known from the start is that punching or kicking is crush style, which I didn't know until today. And also I missed the most important part. I could have used Vengeance and Trolls, and I completely blanked out on that, which is not surprising because I always bring Trolls to raids as well, and I always forget to use them there. So yeah, I could have definitely saved time there. If I had higher Slayer level, I could have definitely done bosses like Thermonuclear, Smoke Devil. I didn't have any Mossy or Giant keys, which didn't allow me to hunt Obor and Pryo. I was even thinking of Scorpia maybe and Hespori, but again, I didn't have Hespori seeds. So in hindsight, I think I could have definitely gotten up to at least 10 bosses if I had more time to prepare, or if I lucked out. But honestly, 160 million GP for the drop party is the biggest donation we've gotten so far, and I'm so happy that on the 26th of December a lot of people are gonna get buttload of loot, which is just really cozy feeling to me. And we also got other donations today, which were Mark Sama gave 10 million GP for the drop party, Ching Wa Ching gave 6 million GP, Kilobits gave 2 million GP, and Mr. Slip gave 1.69 million GP. Thank you to all of you. I hope you enjoyed this voiceover by me. Please consider liking and subscribing, as it helps with the channel a lot. And I'll see you all tomorrow with a secret challenge. I hope you have an amazing Christmas. I love you all so very much. See you tomorrow. Bye. Mwah.